Hey, Allie.
What's up?
This is the season finale of season 2.
I almost was thinking it was season 3.
Yeah, it does feel like a season 3, but it's actually
It
season 2.
just feels like the number 3.
It has a more season 3 vibe.
Yeah.
And so on today's episode, we are going to share just some of our favorite things we learned over the season and give folks a little sneak peek update.
Talk about season 3.
Talk about what's coming in season 3.
If I sound a little off,
Congested.
I have a cold.
Yeah. And if there's ever random sneezes that happen, that's what that is.
Get over it, yeah.
Get over it.
You can't catch my cold through the podcast.
Right. But if you are ever in here recording and playing with the mics and put your face too close to it,
I might have germs.
that might be the germ that you get.
We'll mark this mic.
That's Allie's mic. So, Allie, some of the most memorable moments of season 2. For you, which were some of your favorites or things that stood out?
That's a good question. I think that the first thing I really enjoyed were the first 2 episodes were a little bit more about doing something that I think a lot of times we talk about doing, or things we have tried, or things we've, slowly started building toward, which would be hosting a conference and putting on an online class.
Yeah.
We have an online class that helps people think through branding on a budget. And, it was cool because we were a part of Hillary's word shops class that she launched. It was just cool to see how much time and intention she took.
Yeah.
And also knowing that things come up that you just can't control. Nothing feels perfect to the person.
Yeah, both Melissa and Hillary, it just takes a lot of effort to put on. They both are doing things that people talk about all the time. Like, it'd be cool if we had a conference that was like X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But they did it, and they do all of that stuff.
And they both make money in different ways. Mm-hmm. And when I mean different ways, I mean the online course and the conference aren't like their full-time jobs.
Right, yeah.
But they own their own business.
But the conference and the online course make money.
True.
So they're not like
they're
things
not like
they're losing money on. Yeah.
What about you? What were some of your? I mean, there's a ton more. That was just the first. Yeah. The first.
I get so stuck on. It will always stick in my head. Jenny Sansucci's story of emailing her dad to tell him that she was going to become a blogger, which is just like a comical. Because you and I, when we started our business, we had so many. Maybe people didn't understand what we were doing. Yeah. But we didn't tell them we were going to become bloggers.
Right.
That seems even more impossible.
Yeah. No, I love the confidence that those kind of statements represent.
Yeah.
And
almost like a little naive, but you should be naive probably.
Right. Well, even with Rebecca, she wasn't just, she talks about how she sort of fell into things, but there's just so much intention behind everyone we talked to. It wasn't just an accident. And it might feel like an organic journey or path to where all these people ended up, but there was a moment where they decided to do it.
Truth.
I also really love talking to Kate about building a remote team. She and I talk a lot off the podcast, obviously. And we try to read similar books or talk about the different things that are difficult. And, it's nice to talk to people at different stages of growth. Yeah. But
both of you probably started your business and had no real, you weren't like, I'm going to grow a thing. Like you weren't like, I'm going to intentionally grow a company with people on a team. It organically, because good stuff happened, more clients showed up, and then other clients stayed. So then naturally you need more hands to help.
Yeah, that's true. We weren't just like, I just want to be the boss, or I just want to have employees. Or,
neither of you seemed to start with that intention. I thought how intentional and smart she was with what she did. I almost connected that to, or it felt similar to Joe's episode where he talked about finances. Yeah. I think Joe and Kate are both business owners who you could sit down and at a very practical, tactical level, they could tell you what you should be doing or help you improve your business a lot. Yeah.
And then you think about with Deja and Chanel and Brian and Catherine, being married or being siblings and it being just like a kind of a no-brainer and like we should collaborate and spend our life together.
Right.
I think with that comes a lot more organic growth and decisions and less just like very intentional business decisions. They're all good at business, but when you have naturally this connection with a partner in business because you have a connection with them outside of business, I think it's a little bit safer and I think those mistakes are just a little more forgiving.
Yeah. Everybody from this season had just a very organic. Josie's story with Thank Yoga was so organic, so much like she just kept following a curiosity or passion or this is what I want to do right now. And when that changes in a couple of years, then I'll change with it. Yeah. And that's okay.
None of these people are really like pushing this exit strategy or I'm just trying to sell my business or I'm trying to scale like, really quickly, really fast.
Yeah. Like a lot of soul with everything they're doing.
Yep.
Which was super cool. I think the organic nature of all of these folks kind of reminds me of you and I were working through our strength finders yesterday and talking about our strengths. And so you can do, if you're into strength finders, you can get your top 5, which is fun. Yep. But then you can also, there's 34 strengths and you can also pay more money to like see all the rest, the other 29. If math is correct. Yeah, top 5, 29, Yep. So you can see the other 29 and you learn which ones are at the very bottom. And both of us have, I forget the name of the one. Is it context? Is that one towards the bottom for both of us as a strength?
Perhaps.
Which is
the past.
The past, right?
It is, yeah. It's the ability to look back to the past. Not just the ability, but that's like what your default is. Yeah. And we both do not.
No, not at all. It's very like future focused. And I think so much of...
In deliberation even, I think is lower for both
is the
of
other
us.
one.
We don't take a lot of serious... Our decision making isn't very serious.
It's very... And if you look at all of the people who are here in season 2, some of them were very intentional about things they did. And we are very intentional about things we do. Yeah. But it seems like, and maybe this is a wiring thing, but so much of that organic life, growth, business happens because there's a lot of lessons that we've learned that we could have just not learned for ourselves, but had somebody else answer for us. Or we could have spent, we work with some clients who spend years planning before they ever launch anything. And you and I are so not like that. We're very much like, I started selling coffee because I sponsored a booth at a thing. And you started painting. You just wanted to paint again. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you have a whole art gallery. Right. And so we just start doing stuff. Yeah. Which is fun. But also, as you look through this list of people, not everyone's wired the same way.
Yeah. And you really don't know those things until you take a test like that or you work with someone like a business coach or, even a therapist. And I think now that we are about to wrap up 2017, there's a lot of things that you and I have learned about ourselves and the way our team works. And if we ever were to bring more people on, like what we would be looking for. But I think a lot of, in this kind of, if we were to talk about season 3, a lot of what we want to focus on is, I think, some of that personal experience that we've had with owning a business, but also being a human. We talked to Chris McAllister, who's someone we've worked with before, about seasons of life. And,
he has a new book that's out. Yep. That's all about...
It's called The Stuck Book.
Yeah. And it's all about the seasons that we find ourselves in.
And the seasons obviously being mirrored from the actual seasons. So winter, spring, summer, fall. Also, if you're really into Gilmore Girls, how they structured the reboot of the show, summer, spring, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, but I think that
Do you think he copied Gilmore Girls?
Oh,
do you
for
feel like
sure.
that's what he was trying to do?
Definitely. He was definitely inspired by
Pretty obviously.
it. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know if I'm just in a winter, but the feeling of hustling and working 24/7 and just only trying to make money has shifted a lot, I think, for me, and I think obviously for you, but then you get into some of these like spring and summer seasons where you're energized and you're ready to try new ideas.
Yeah.
Ideation, however, is my lowest strength, and I think it definitely reflects that in how I feel all the time.
Yeah, right. It's like coming up with ideas. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's one of my tops. Yeah,
I think it makes sense that the business that I do is just the thing. Those are the things that I do. I'm not trying to come up with like a new wacky idea, or I'm not especially innovative, I don't think.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, you are, but I don't think you think about it that way. Like, I think the whole thing is that there's just so many approaches to doing something. Like, it's not useful for you to sit down and think about ideas or being like, oh, how could I do this like and be weird? Or
they talk about like finding themes or connections between like phenomena, and I don't really care.
You're literally reading the ideation.
Yeah, but like that is like I don't like connect with that.
Yeah. Obviously, it's your like lowest one. You're like, I don't relate to this. This is dumb.
Why is it on my
It should get kicked out of the strengths. No, but I think that all of these, everyone here who is part of our second season, wanted to be successful financially with clients, probably wants some sort of recognition, wants to be seen by other people. But they also care a lot about what they're doing. Like there's a lot of things other successful people are doing in each of their industries that they don't do because they don't want to. Right. And so there's this whole thing of like this push and pull. It's the way these businesses look. And even if you go back to season 1, if you go through all the folks we've interviewed and talked to, there's something just so deeply personal about what it is that they do.
Yeah.
And I think that's in season 3 what we want to do. And so in season 3, we're going to have no guests.
Except each other.
And
producer Michael.
We'll probably get him a mic in season 3.
Yeah,
so he can like chime in.
Yeah.
The fans have been really demanding more of producer Michael.
Yeah, I'm tired of getting those DMs.
If you see producer Michael in public, out at the grocery or at a bar, feel free to talk to him and call him producer Michael.
In front of other people.
Introduce him to your friends. That's fun. But we're just going to talk. We're going to try and like dive into all of the weird struggles, successes, the ways that we approach things, and hopefully, what we tried to do in the first 2 seasons was give folks a behind the scenes look at some of these businesses.
A lot of people we've worked with and
and so what we're going to do in season 3 is try and give people like a season long, very deep dive at a behind the scenes of our
own
business and life and time.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's helpful.
We're going to kind of go back and forth between Adam asking me a question about something that I feel like I want to talk about, like you asking a little bit more, diving a little bit deeper, so that it's not just us rambling, but there's a little bit of direction. And it's going to be shorter. So we're going to try to be a little bit more concise.
Maybe your episodes will be short. And my episodes will be really long.
You think so?
Based on how
ultimately producer Michael can cut, so I'm sure they'll be consistent.
They must all be 42 minutes long.
Yeah. But I'm excited to talk about those things. I think interviewing has its own unique angle, and we have loved talking to probably like 20 people, 20 different forms of people.
Forms of people.
I mean, like, you can't...
20 different forms of people. There's like 20 different species.
I wasn't considering like Brian and Catherine as separate people, but like one form.
That should be our book. You're reading that book right now about Manhattan or something of humans.
Primates of New York.
Primates of New York.
Yeah.
And
so good.
I think of it a little bit in the same way of like we can become like an anthropologist of the
forms
of these folks. I think how many episodes have we had? This is episode. Yeah, we've had 10 each season.
That's good.
10 interviews each season. Yeah. It's 20 folks. Yeah, it's been very cool. And you start to think back through it. So many different businesses, which has been really cool. And I'm excited to give, people a very real, because you and I don't really let each other off of the hook as much as, or we don't like probe as much when we have guests on.
We're going to probe so much. Also, I feel like, in order to be more concise, and we learn this in teaching, you have to prepare more. And so I think with an interview, you can sort of just lay out some general questions and get an idea of what you want to talk about and let the conversation go. And that's where our episodes can go closer to like over an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah. So we're excited to kind of break it down into something that's a little bit more concise and straightforward.
We're also going to start inviting sponsors to our podcast.
True. Ones that you've never probably heard of.
Because producer Michael got to eat, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't, if no one sponsors, he can't
He will starve.
Eat. Yeah.
That's not true.
That's not true. In case, if someone was listening to this and thought we were really serious, like disclaimer,
oh my gosh, yeah.
all starving producer Michael jokes are not true. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have 2 of them currently lined up.
Yep.
And then maybe we can wrangle a third.
Yeah.
If you are listening to this and you're a business that seems like you would like to sponsor this.
If you would love us to talk about your company next season and probe more, I don't know. I don't know why I keep wanting to use that word.
I wish people could see your eyebrows when you say that.
My eyebrows get really
you're
tall.
like making the face of
like I'm doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we're excited. It will start, season 3 will start after the new year. And in the meantime...
Oh my gosh, the meantime.
Adam's other
podcast.
Much
long awaited. People have been begging me.
Yeah.
Tens of people. No. We'll see.
Ones of people. If you're not getting enough of us in the meantime, in between seasons, boy, do I have a treat for you. Boy. So producer Michael and I are working on another podcast that's just me. It's not you. We actually alluded to it, or did you cut that out of Kate of a previous episode? It's cut out, I think. We don't know.
I think we may have mentioned it in the past.
We're not narcissists. We don't listen to our podcast over and over.
Yeah. I have another podcast coming out. It will be called Layman's Terms, and I'm super pumped. I've invited some of my friends and my family, and we just answer questions submitted by our friends. And so some of it's about life, some of it's about business, and I am just lucky, fortunate, blessed to have a ton of interesting, cool people in my world. And not all of them even have, everyone who's been a guest on this podcast has a business or they're an entrepreneur. Yep. But I have friends who are relatives who are nurses who have very interest. My sister's a nurse. She's going to be on the podcast. My brother-in-law is a physical therapist and is doing a ton of fascinating research. And I just want to talk to him and share all of his cool stuff with my other friends.
People are interesting no matter if they're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. And probably my strength and even what I bring to branding and what I bring to all of that is being able to dig out what makes the interesting connecting pieces of folks and figuring out how would that be interesting to other people. And so I'm excited to do that with people you might not hear these types of people on podcasts all the time. Yeah. I'm super pumped to get my little brother Ben will be on because
he's actually taller than you, but he's younger. He's not little anymore.
Yeah. That's funny. My younger brother Ben will be on, and he is a wizard at a bunch of cool stuff, but he's a college student currently. And so college students don't often get asked to be on podcasts, even though they often have really interesting stuff to talk about.
Truth.
So I'm excited about it. Finally, what I wanted to do today, because one of the things that we stopped doing in season 2 that we did in season 1 was like, I feel sad that we didn't get to do it. And I want to do it today. And we should figure out a way to bring some part of it into season 3.
Are you talking about celebrity headlines?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Because we have a season of headlines to catch up on. There's so much we haven't been able to talk about. So let's go.
Oh my gosh.
What's the thing that celebrities that have, for those of you who don't know, or maybe you just jumped in at randomly the season finale of season 2, celebrity headlines is where we talk about celebrity things that have caught our eye lately. Yep. If you listen to our interview with Hillary, we talked mostly about the Kardashians for a good chunk of that time.
And a little bit about Kanye.
Luckily, she talks fast, so we were able to cover business stuff and celebrity stuff.
Yeah.
So, Allie, what's caught your attention lately in the world of celebrities?
Well, I feel a little basic, but I am a little interested in the royal engagement.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, not.
She's American and she's half black. Like, I think that that's really interesting. And if I claim that I'm interested in the Kardashians because they don't just look like Barbies.
Yeah.
Growing up, when you don't look like any of the popular toys, you're pretty interested in that.
Yeah.
So
I feel you.
That's very interesting to me.
That is pretty fast. When you phrase it that way, that's fascinating.
She's like not going to be an actress anymore, most likely.
Yeah.
Like
she's on Suits. Like we're going to have to go watch Suits to get.
It's like the most amazing.
Is that her biggest thing? What's her biggest thing?
Yeah, no, that's
Suits?
the biggest thing, yeah.
When I saw a photo of her, I don't know the name. Oh, yeah.
She was a Howie Mandel girl. Is that what that is?
You gotta get Michael a microphone. He's like, they're like legit torturing him right now.
She opened briefcases
like
on that show with the guy who hates germs. Good for you, Meghan. She's also a Meghan who uses an H, which I think a lot of Meghans out there who probably have an H are very thankful that this will become more mainstream. And
shout out to something Michael wants to talk about right now.
So I guess, Meghan Trainor, has an H in her name. So Meghan Markle is going to take over that search result, which probably really sucks for Meghan Trainor. Unless
you're in the anti-Meghan Trainor camp.
Oh, I just mean for Meghan Trainor.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who's a fan of Meghan Trainor.
There's 2 camps. It's literally like they have 2 campgrounds. There's a Meghan Markle campground and a Meghan Trainor campground.
That's amazing. I don't know about that.
I would love to see what a Meghan Trainor campground would be like.
I feel like it'd be like a lot of like Fisher-Price camping stuff for kids.
Yeah. That's like pastel colored.
So I'm interested in the fact that like she has to get like baptized into the like British church and like become a citizen. That's like, I told my sister, pretty intense compromise.
Yeah.
She's not really losing anything, but besides her career.
But can
you imagine if like you didn't even really love acting and then you get divorced from some guy and then get engaged to a prince?
Yeah. That's a Hallmark movie.
That's a pretty great life.
Straight up.
What about you?
Today I saw some news about Jay-Z. So he's been in the press more lately. And he's touring currently.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. And he got nominated for a bunch of Grammys, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially, I was surprised since he does the whole like title thing that he's getting some more mainstream love.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But I saw in an interview where he talked about his relationship with Kanye, which always makes me a little sad because those guys had a really cool album together. They toured together. That album is a lot harder to find now. It's not up everywhere. Their relationship was obviously strained at best.
Yeah.
They had like some definite things going on. And he, in an interview, said he's like a brother. And sometimes, like with brothers, you fight. But he had talked to him recently, and he's like, we always love each other. So we'll always have love for each other. So
love it.
Made me feel good that 2 people who I like a lot are not
Not fighting.
So much fighting. Yeah.
That's great.
They can work it out.
Yeah.
And if they can work it out,
anyone can.
two of like the bigger egos in the world can like get over themselves a little bit.
For sure.
There's hope.
Yeah. Good job, celebrities.
Thank you, celebrities, thank you, Meghan Markle, and thank you, Jay-Z, for giving us hope.
Yeah, about equal and entertainment talent.
Inspiring the world.
We definitely should bring back up a portion of this into season 3.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
I was surprised. Yeah, that's good.
You surprised what?
Nothing.
No, do you
Is there any other headlines you want to talk about? We started this podcast about 45 minutes behind schedule.
True.
And you and producer Michael spent a pretty solid chunk of time covering some celebrity headlines.
Oh, yeah.
Yourselves.
Yeah. No.
But you feel like you got that out?
Yeah, I got it out of my system.
That's cool.
Yeah. If you want to talk more celebrity headlines, you can become my friend.
And then you can find that on our website
at friend /
become Allie Pal's buddy. We actually used to have a thing called the Friend Zone.
Oh, true.
Where we would mail people cool stuff.
Yeah. I'm doing that more under the radar. It's
Yeah.
been really fun. Sharing, like, mailing out stickers and letters.
If you go to thewonderjam.com / I'll make sure it's still set up. / if you go to thewonderjam.com / friend zone.
You can enter in your info and we will
randomly will mail things to you.
Yep.
So there's some people listening to this who are like, oh yeah, I signed up for that and I got really cool stuff. And there's other people who signed up for it. It's like, I didn't get anything. Like, your time is coming. Yeah. We work through it. Sometimes when we have some free time.
Yeah, I would love that. You should definitely sign up.
We're making no promises, but like, what do you have to lose?
I mean,
your information.
Yeah, I could come to your house.
We could sell that. How much can we sell someone's address for?
I don't know.
I don't think that much.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw a thing where they said the going rate for an identity, like a social and stuff like that, was like $300.
That's it?
I think.
Oh, go into a different business, people. I guess if you have a ton.
But if you can collect like, if you can
true.
like pull like $1 billion from whatever.
Can you sell your own? If you really need some cash, you're like, here's my stuff.
I'll sell mine. It's
How do they know it's like real? Couldn't you just sell a bunch of fake ones?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the I don't know what the deal is.
If anyone knows, I don't want to know, so don't tell me. But I'm excited for season 3.
I'm really
think it will be fun.
3.
You and I will just be chitty chatty, and
it'll be like you're sitting on a road trip with us.
Yeah, but the road trip is short.
Office.
Yeah,
the road trip is short.
It's not like 6 hours. That'll be the finale of season 3. You will actually record a whole road trip.
Yeah,
can't wait. Can't wait to go see the Grand Canyon.
Can't wait. You're coming with us. Thanks so much for listening. We love you all. Ask us questions on the internet. We answer those.
We'll see you in 2018.